Hi guys, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a cheat sheet on how to use Excel because you will need to use these for your jobs. And so just in case you forget, here's a good video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here in the A1 box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a table and a graph for the number of candy bars in Miss Nepsted's drawer. So in A1, I'm going to type my title for my table. So I'm just going to call this Nepsted's candy drawer. Okay, and what I'm going to have is I'm going to have two columns. And so I'm going to name my columns. The first one I'm going to name type of candy. And then the second one I'm going to name number, because the number of candy bars that I have. As you can see, this first box, type of candy, you can't really see it. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to expand it. So I'm going to put my finger right here, actually on the A, and notice these two lines right here. I'm going to pull those two lines over, and so now you can see my columns. You can see type of candy and number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type out my candy. So let's say I have Reese's, I have Snickers, I have Milky Way, and let's say I have Kit Kat. Okay, for the number in my drawer, Reese's, let's say I have 3, Snickers, I'm going to have 1, Milky Way will have 4, and Kit Kat will have 3. Okay, so that is how you create a table. Pretty easy. You will have to create tables in your jobs. The one thing I am going to fix is this is supposed to be a professional table. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to capitalize number, because if you send a professional table off to a company or something like that, you want to make sure that it is professional, it's readable, and you're able to kind of understand it and the grammar is correct. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this table into a graph. So I'm going to start with my column header, and I'm actually going to drag this green dot down so I include all of my data. And as you can see, all of that is highlighted. So I'm going to push this insert button up at the top, and I'm going to click chart. Now, the thing we have to think about is what kind of chart do I want? And normally we're going to use either a column, a line, or a pie graph. And as you remember, hopefully from biology, if we are just comparing, like we're comparing how many candy bars Miss Nepsted has on her desk, she's going to want to do a column or a bar graph. So I'm going to click column. And then let's just click recommended. Okay, that's going to be your best bet. And so I'm going to click this first one. Okay, it's easy to see, it's easy to understand. So I'm going to click that. And as you can see, your graph pops up in your table. And so you're just going to want to move it so it's not interfering with your table. Okay, and then there's a couple of things that we need to change. And so first off, my title should not be number. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that. I'm going to drag it all the way over. I'm going to change that, and I'm going to title it the same thing as my table. So Nepsted's candy drawer. Okay, and then another thing that I need to include is I need to include our axis labels. And so how we do that is we come up here to this elements button. So we're going to click elements, and then we're going to click axis titles, which is right here. Axis titles. I'm going to do primary horizontal, and then as you can see, that pops up here. However, I need my vertical too. So I'm going to go elements, axis titles, and primary vertical. So now I have those. So what I need to do now is fix those. And so for this one, and an easy way to get that little cursor, if you can see that cursor right there, all the way to the edge, is you hold your space bar and you actually just drag your finger to the right. So what I did is I like held on my space bar and then I dragged it to the right. I'm gonna fix that. And I'm just gonna put type of candy. And then for this axis title, what I'm gonna do, so again, hold the space bar and drag it to the right. You're gonna delete, and I'm gonna put number. Okay, and obviously, if you're really interested, you can change up the graph a little bit, different colors, the format, and stuff like that. However, this is what you're going to be creating. However, I spelled drawer wrong, so let's go back here. Okay, hold on my space bar all the way to the right, drawer. Okay, and so there is my table, and here's my graph to go with it. And then please remember, every time you create one of these, you need to save it to your OneDrive. So up here is your save button. So I'm going to click that save button and I'm going to save it. Okay, I'm going to go in my OneDrive and here's my applied biology folder. So I'm going to click there and then I'm going to name it so you know how to find it. So I'm just going to do candy drawer data. Save. And then from that, you can upload it to Schoology. All right, guys, hope that helps.